Hi girls, how are you? Today we are going to which is talking about most of us use the internet. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain survey results using percentages, also describe expressions of quantity followed or not followed by of. Here girls, I have one of the quantity words. I need you please to think, and can you give me a percentage which is equal all? Yes, 100%. So 100% means all. So all is quantity equals 100%. I have another quantity word which is most. Can you please think and give me a percentage for most? Exactly, 95%, 96%. I have another quantity word which is half equals 50%. Well done. The last quantity word for today is none, and it equals 0%. So we call these words, we call them quantity. Words that refer to quantity. We are going to open the course book, page 170. You have a box of use.
Expressions
But
of
before
quantity
watching
are
this
phrases that
or
talk
reading the
about
box, I need you
how
to show you
much
a
of a
video
certain noun
about
we have.
quantity
Let's look at some of our
followed
very
by
common
of
expressions of
or
quantity
not
in English.
followed by of.
Our first one is all
So
of.
let's watch the
This means
video and take
100%.
notes.
For
Whatever you
example,
got, whatever you
all of
understand
this
from it,
circle
just
is
write
red.
down notes. Let's
The
start.
next one is a little bit less. Almost all of means a little bit is not. We can see a little bit of this circle is white, but almost all of the circle is red. Next we have most of. Most of means more than half. Most of this circle is red. And some of is kind of like a little bit, or really anything less than 50%. Some of this circle is red. Most of this circle is white. Some of this circle is white. Most of this circle is red. Let's think about another example. In this bowl, I have my snack. It is 10 carrots. I can eat some of these carrots, maybe 3 or 4 carrots. I could eat most of these carrots, maybe 6 or 7. I could eat almost all of the carrots, eat 9 of the carrots. Or I could eat all of the carrots. Probably I will eat all of the carrots. All 10 carrots. I want you to notice one more thing. When we use these phrases, like all of, we use them together with a determiner, like the or a possessive adjective. For example, all of the circle is red. We use the article the. We can also use a possessive adjective. Almost all of, maybe this is my circle, is red. Okay. We can also use a demonstrative, like most of this circle is red. But we need to use one of these determiners together with a noun when we use these expressions of quantity.
Okay, everyone. After watching this video, we can guess that our lesson today is talking about quantity, which is talking about how much do we have. So now, like what this quantity, which followed by of, the first one here, a quarter. A quarter of, about a quarter of the class voted for football. A quarter of, a fraction. If you see a fraction like a quarter, a third, okay, so we use of. You have to use of, it followed by of. Another percentage like 90% of, over 90% of us have brown eyes. 90%. This is a percentage. So if you have a fraction, if you have a percentage, they should followed by of. Another example, 2/3 of. This is another fraction. 2/3. 2/3 of the class come to school by car. So in this case, we use of. Quarter of, 90% of, 70% of, 2/3 of, 4/5 of. So you have to use of after fractions and after percentage. You have another of, but it's optional. It's up to you. You can use it, it's optional, with half, with all. Half, we said 50%, 50. All means 100%. You can use of, it's okay, or you can't use of, it's up to you. Half the class voted for the English as their favorite subject. Or I can say half of the class voted for English as their favorite subject. So it's optional. You can use of or not. This is with half and with all. Half, which is 50%, and all 100%. Now here we have another quantity word, which is most, but without of. Without, it means that you can't write of. Most students use the internet. I'm not talking about specific students. I'm talking about any student you know or you don't know. That's why I said most students, because I don't know these students. I'm talking in general. But I use of with most if I'm talking about specific students. Like most of the students in our class use the internet. Here in this example, I'm talking about the students in our class. Okay, specific students. But the first one here, most students, I'm talking general students, not specific one. So if you want to speak most teachers, I'm talking about all the teachers. Most bananas, most activities, I'm talking about general activities, general bananas. But if I say most of the teachers in our school read Arabic. So most of the teachers, I'm talking about the teacher, where? In my school. So specific. That's why you can use of. So we use of with most of, if I'm talking about specific things or people. But most without of, if I'm talking about general things or general people. Let's go on. It's time now to open your activity book, page 142, exercise 3. Here you have to read the sentences and choose the correct option. Of, you are going to choose of or dash. Dash means that no of. Or you can choose of or dash. Of or dash. It means that yes, it's optional. You can use of or not. It's okay. Both are correct. Number one, over 70%, 70%, 70% percentage. Us get to school by bus. 70%, if you remember from the pink table, use of English. Have a look again and remember with me, please. 70%, it's a percentage. Yes, of. 70% of. So this is the correct one. Why I choose of? Because here I have a percentage like 95%. Number two, half. Half. Look again to the use of English box with half. Yes, you can say half of the class or you can say half the class. So you can use of or without. Number three, most. Most students. We said we can use of and we can't use of, but which cases we use of, which cases we don't use of? We don't use of for general. We use of for specific. So here I'm talking about students use the internet. So this is dash, no of. Why? Because general students. 3/4, number four. 3/4 here, it's a fraction. So after the fraction, yes, we have to use of. 3/4 of. Number four, all, like half. Number two and number five. Number two and number five. Half and all. Optional. Yes, you can use of or not. All of the students like English. Or you can say all the students like English. Number six, most. But here us, I'm talking about us, we. So specific, that's why I have to use of for specific. But number three, I'm talking about general students. That's why no, nothing, no of. Let's move. It's time for the course book, exercise number 2. Here, girls, you have, okay, expressions in the box. 40%, almost, 2/3, half, all, a quarter, most. 40%, this is a percentage. Almost 2/3, fraction. Half, fraction. All, quantity, 100%. A quarter, it's a fraction. Most, quantity word. What are we going to do now? We are going to write again these sentences, but using the expressions in the box. Number one, it's already done. 17 out of 27 of the class go swimming once a week. 17 out of 27. Which expression from the box is matching with 17 out of 27? Yes, exactly. Almost 2/3 of the class go swimming once a week. Now, with the same way, we are going to rewrite the sentence again using the expressions in the box. 2. 50% of us walk to school. 50%. Can you give me, please, one word from the box? From the expressions in the box, which means or equals 50%? Exactly. Half. So 50% means half of us walk to school. 3. 25% of the students eat cereal for breakfast. Which expression from the box is matching with 25% equals 25%? Exactly, quarter. A quarter of the students eat cereal for breakfast. 4. 100% of the class voted for football as their favorite sport. 100. Give me one expression equals 100. All. We can say all. You can say all of the class, or you can say all the class voted for football as their favorite sport. Number 5, 8 out of 20 students chose oranges as their favorite fruit. 8 of 20. I have 20 oranges. Only I'm talking about 8 of them, their favorite fruit. So, yes, 40% of the students chose oranges as their favorite fruit. 17 out of 20. Now, 17 out of 20 students get 8 or more hours sleep a day. Exactly. Most students get 8 or more hours of sleep a day, a night, or most of the students. So we can use both of them. Well done, girls. So now here we need to reorder the words to make perfect and completed sentences. Always we start with the capital letter. And this, in our sentence today, the capital letter is word refers to quantity, fraction, number. So we have to start with the capital. The capital here is about. About should follow by a number. What is the number here? About half. And we said that we can use of or we can't use of with half. So about half of who? The class. What did they do? Voted for tennis. So about half of the class voted for tennis. Let's have a look to number 2. I will give you 1 second. 20% us have under 3 sisters of. Remember, we will start with the capital letter and followed by a number, fraction, percentage, with of or without of, and then we will complete. Yes, exactly. So the capital here is under. What is the number of fraction? 20%. Okay. So under 20% of us have 3 sisters. Well done, girls. 3. Of chose purple favorite color. The students in our class none as their. Where is the capital letter? None. Well done. I need none. None here means 0. No, nothing, no one. So none of the students, no one of the students. It means that none in our class chose purple as their favorite color. Around favorite fruit voted for papaya as their 10%. Start with the capital letter. Where is the capital letter here? Yes, around. Can you please think now? And Reorder the words to make a good sentence. Well done. Around 10% voted for papaya as their favorite fruit. Number 5. Of 2/3 us camping have been. Where is the capital? 2/3. Okay, 2/3. This is a fraction. We said after the fraction of. So 2/3 of what? Of who? Of us. What do they do? Yes. So 2/3 of us have been camping. Yes. We should start with capital letter. It's here a mistake. Okay, change it. It's capital letter, girls. Number 6. In the class have got all the students a bicycle nearly of. We will start with capital. Where is the capital? Nearly. Nearly. Yes, nearly all of the students in the class have got a bicycle. 7. Of sleep for a third 8 hours a night as. We start with a third, capital letter. A third of us. After a third, the fraction use of. Sleep for 8 hours a night. The last one. 3 times in the class, 60% go swimming a month of the students. Where is the capital? 60%. It's a percentage. That's why should follow by of. Well done. So 60% of who? Yes. 60% of the students in the class go swimming 3 times a month. Well done, guys.